It's time to beat the clock. Lights of Broadway, sights of Broadway, sounds of Broadway all around. And there above shines the name Sylvania, pioneering light, sight, and sound. Finer products, better products, tested quality. Made for you by Sylvania, pioneer for half a century. Beat the clock, brought by Sylvania. Beat the clock to entertain you. It's time to play Beat the Clock.
And now here is America's #1 clock watcher, Bud Collyer.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to Beat the Clock, the show where you can have the time of your life playing against time for big-time prizes. And thank you, Bud Bennett. Now, if you'll come over here, I'd like you to meet again our holdover contestants from last week, Mr. and Mrs. William Moulton, right? How are you, Miss Moulton? Welcome back. You sound a little mollified tonight. What's the matter? Hi, Bill. How are you?
Oh, fair, a little nervous.
Did you practice your stunt at home all week?
We practiced, but we didn't get it.
Did you break a lot of dishes?
We broke a lot of dishes.
Did you? Well, now you can get him to buy you that set you've been wanting for so long, you know. You tell him they're on your left. Incidentally, of course, as you may remember from last week, we started a brand new bonus. And whenever that bell happens to ring during the show, whether it's while you're up here or anybody else, whoever happens to be there when the bell rings, they're the one that tried the bonus tonight. It's worth $200 in cash. So without any further ado, suppose you both come over. We'll pick up where we left off, reaching for the, is this your first clock? Your $100 clock? Oh, sure. Well, hey, we can't miss this, can we? Thank you very much, Madeline. Now, I know you know how it's done, but just to explain again for the people who didn't see it, let's get a good flat side up there. I'm going to balance one cup and one saucer on top there. Betty, bring me another saucer, will you? That's got kind of a rounded bottom there, and I don't think that'll be too fair to him, because that one has two. Let's pick up one that has kind of a flat one. These are not, oh, that's better. That looks more like it. There, that sits better. See that? Okay. Now, what I'm going to ask these two people to do is to support this ball, the husband with Bill with his right hand, your wife with your left hand, and don't tire yourself out now while I explain to the folks, because you know how it's done. Then holding it with the one hand each, pressed against the side of the ball like this, they are to start picking up. First, the wife picks up a saucer there and piles it on top of the cup. Then Bill picks up a cup and puts it on top of the saucer. Then back to the saucer, put it on top of that cup, and back to the cup, put it on top of that saucer. When they have 3 cups and saucers all piled up, we'll stop the clock. You'll beat the clock. Now, of course, the main thing is don't be nervous and don't break any dishes. Take a look behind you, see how many seconds you have once more. 55 seconds. All right, suppose you take a hold of that now to make sure that we've got a good flat surface up there for you, because I want to be perfectly fair to you. Now, let's get her set. All right, how's that? Pretty good? Is that pretty square, pretty solid? All right, now you get your hands, can you hold it best that way, or do you think just with your flat hand against there? You've practiced it this way. All right, okay, you handle it your own way. You all set where the dishes and cups are? Okay, are you ready? Go! Bill, what'd you say? You couldn't do it last night?
Couldn't do it.
No
Broke
kidding.
4 cups and saucers and ran out of it.
Well, you didn't break any tonight. You've beaten the $100 clock. We'll find out what your $200 clock. I got another Bill here, Mr. and Mrs. Bill Moulton. Now, I didn't ask you about your youngsters. You have kids, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
You have a boy and a girl?
That's right.
How old are they?
3 and a half and a year and a
Did
half.
you bring them with you?
No, the little girl just had her tonsils out.
Oh, what you see, the littlest one or the...
She's the oldest.
The 3 and a half. Is she watching the show?
I
watching.
hope so.
Well, I hope so, too. My goodness, you can take a little time and wave to her. If she's that sick and
Hi, Peg.
recovering from having those tonsils out, she'll want to know that you're thinking about her. All right, Bill and your lovely missus, let's move over here. Now, how are you at fixing desserts? Are you pretty good at it?
Oh, yeah.
Well, we have a dessert we want you to fix. Come on over here, if you will, both of you. This is on the $200 clock. Let's bring out our little pastry kitchen in here. Well, say, getting a different kind of a tableau these days, aren't you? All right, now, as soon as this comes to a stop, Mrs. Moulton, will you step right back there with Madeline, and she'll show you where your scene of operations is. Bill, gonna let you relax on this one since you worked so hard on that. Lie right down here, if you will. But first, put on this little shower cap. That's the idea. Just lie down on your back with your head on this cushion here. You can let your feet hang off the edge. That's the idea. Just put your head right on there. What's the matter, Bill? Huh?
So she's going to do it, she better do it right.
Oh, no, she's just going to make a peach shortcake, that's all. Move down a little further, Bill. I want you to be able to see. That's fine. I want you to be able to see everything that goes on, you know. That's a good spot for you right there, I think. All right, now, your problem is this, Miss Moulton. Here it is right here. If that 3.5-year-old is watching, she's laughing fit to bust what tonsil she hasn't got. This is a little pie plate filled with whipped cream. Now, you started out to fix for your husband, Bill, and the kids, a nice peach shortcake, but you forgot to put the peaches in. So there are the peaches right there, you see? Now, what you have to do is this. Take out those peaches one at a time, and without reaching down, just reaching out over here, drop them, you see? Now, you better kind of get it right there. And if you get one in that pie plate without it falling off, why, we'll stop the clock and you'll beat the clock. Now, if it falls off, you'll know because your husband will tell you. He's to watch and see if any of them fall off, you see? All right, let's take a look at the clock, see how many seconds you have. 30 seconds from the time I say go. You ready? Go. Oh! They're right there, Bill. They're right there. Go ahead, drop another one. Oh! That's the idea. Go ahead. All right. Oh, he's a good sport. I'll tell you this, though. I'll bet you he'll never look at a peach shortcake again as long as he lives. All right, if you'll step down over there, please, now, Miss Moulton, right down at the far end there. I'll tell you when to get up. Back of this curtain is our famous magnetic jackpot board. Now, this is it. You have to carry on for the family now while you're getting your husband all cleaned up back there. On this board are all of the words of a famous saying or quotation, but they're all mixed around, all scrambled up out of order. You've got to get them back in order so they spell out, reading from left to right, the very saying or quotation we're after in 20 seconds from the time I say go. Do you understand? Okay. Open the curtain. Step up on the platform. Go. Boy, there's a con girl announced that prevention is worth the power cure, and you did it. What'd you say?
Every week he says, why can't people figure them out? And I was going to tell him that I'd find out why.
Oh, well, now you know why, do you? When you get that close to them, you know, sometimes you don't see the key words, and they try to get into it too fast. You took your time, and that's really the secret. Be a little deliberate about it. Well, let's see and be deliberate now as to just exactly what you want. Take a look right over here.
Mr. and Mrs. Moulton, your prize is Sylvania's exquisite console, the Montclair, with genuine hand-rubbed mahogany inlay doors, large 21-inch movie-clear television with surrounding halo light for the greatest viewing comfort in all television. The Montclair is outstanding in performance and design. Congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Moulton. You've just won Sylvania's jackpot prize.
Roxanne, who are our next contestants? Hey, how'd you get out of that bacon lamp so fast there, huh? You changed in a hurry, didn't you?
But I'd like to meet Mr. and Mrs. McDonald from Vancouver, British Columbia.
Wow, we've never had anybody on the show from British Columbia. How do you do, and welcome to our show. How do you do, sir? Nice to have you here. May I ask, what is your rank?
Flight lieutenant, sir.
In the RAF, right?
RCAF.
RCAF, beg your pardon, Royal Canadian Air Force. How long have you been in the Air Force?
Almost 12 years, sir.
This is a career.
Yes, it is.
Well, I am not brass, and you don't have to sir me. This is once, boy, you're on your own, and you and I are just guys. Your first name is what?
Pat.
Pat? Can I call you Pat?
You certainly
You call
may.
me Bud, and then we're
Fine.
squared away. What's your first name?
Edna.
Edna. Okay, Edna, Pat, and Bud. What about children?
3.
You have 3. I have 3. What are yours? Tell me about
2
it.
girls and a boy.
That's what I've got. Which are the oldest?
4, 3 and 6
Are the girls
weeks.
the oldest or the boys?
Yes, the 2 girls.
That's
They are.
exactly my arrangement. Isn't this convenient? I tell you what, stick around later. Maybe we can work out a deal, or at least do a little swapping of stories.
Same recipe, anyway.
Beg pardon?
It's the same recipe, obviously, sir.
Ah, you're quite right. Exactly the same recipe. Well, I'll tell you something. Since you've got 2 girls, I guess we're going to have to give you 2 of these. And as a matter of fact, I'd like to ask, here we have one of these Roxanne dolls. Aren't they lovely? Now we'll give you 2. There'll be another one backstage for you. And we just put this down. You can pick it up when you go out. And we'll have another one for the other little girl. And I'd like also to ask somebody to get Mrs. Moulton one of those for her little girl who had her tonsils out. She ought to have one too, I think. Okay. Now, let's find out what your problem is on the $100 clock, and it involves a steady hand and a cool eye on your wife's part. Think she's got it, Lieutenant?
I think she...
All right, let's see. You come over here with me, if you will, Edna. Thank you very much, Madeline. Now, here is what we call a snow shovel, you see. And over here is a, we'll call it a snowball. It's really a tennis ball. And then there's a snowball over here, and there's a snowball over there. Now, your problem is simply this. When I say go, starting with any one of those you want, you ought to scoop one of those snowballs up on the shovel. Now, be very careful it doesn't roll off, because keeping it on there, you got to go over to the next one and scoop that one up, and then keep both of those on while you go to the third one and get the third one on. Even if all 3 are on for only an instant, you'll beat the clock. Do you understand? Okay, take the snow shovel and look over your right shoulder and see how many seconds you have from the time I say go. 55 seconds. Are you ready? Go. Give it a quick scoop. That's it. Now be careful. Get it set. You get this one on this time. Now get it both steady. Get it good and quiet. Get that snow shovel good and calm right on the floor behind you. That quick one, then steady them both. All right, here, I'll stop this one for you. All right, go ahead. Up. Such a big move. Make a little one. Just kind of quickly pick that out. Wait till you get right behind it. Get this one steady first. All right, now hold them both. You've still got 10 seconds. You can still do it. Bring that one in, Betty. A little closer. Go after this one now. Right. Try the clock runs out. Hit this one out. All right, get that one in. Oh, golly, I'm sorry you didn't beat the clock. The clock beat you, but you were a real good sport, and you sure tried hard on that. And that's not a way you'll ever have to struggle. Bend right down there, if you will, and pick up one of those radios. You see that? That's a Sylvania radio, and that is for you folks for being such a good sport and being along with us. And I'm awful sorry you didn't beat the clock. And don't forget, we'll get you 2 of those dolls for both of those lovely kids of yours.
Thank you very much.
It's been very nice having you on the show. Good night, sir. Good night, Edna. Take it right along with you. Well, Roxanne, who are our next contestants?
We've got a real name here, Bud.
What's that?
Mr. and Mrs. Ella Dellis, right? He
Yes.
said Stella Dellis. From Canton, Ohio, and he's a football coach and lieutenant commander in the Navy.
Well, hi there. Nice to have you both here. Where are you a football coach?
Kinley High School, Canton, Ohio.
Have you started coaching already?
No, I was called back to the service.
Oh, when are you going in?
Well, I'm in right now.
Yeah. Is this kind of a leave before getting real
Well, we're
busy?
sort of celebrating our 6th anniversary.
Well, many happy returns to you both.
Thank you very much.
That's wonderful. All right, now we're going to find out what your problem is on $100. Okay, now, Mr. and Mrs. Aladelis, correct? Am I doing that right? A-L-O-D-E-L-I-S. What is that, Greek originally?
Yes.
All right, now let's explain to you and everybody by showing you just why we dressed you up in those coveralls. Will you both come over here with me? This is for the $100 clock. If you will sit right down here on the floor, Mr. Aladelis. Mrs. Aladelis, sit facing him right over here. Sit facing each other. You notice that between you on the floor is a nest of pots, you see? They all nest together like that. Now, what I'm going to ask you to do when I say go, I'm going to take these all apart and spread them around here so that then when I say go, all you have to do is help each other get them all nested back together again. Doesn't sound very hard, does it? Let's take a look at our clock, see how many seconds you have. 40 seconds. What makes it hard is Madeline and Betty are going to blindfold each of you. See? And after you're blindfolded, I'll do the spreading around so that you don't know where I've put them. Be sure you Pull those down good and snug, and let us know when you can't see a single thing. There's an honest gal. Says I can still see. Well, good enough. How is that now?
Fine.
Can't see a thing now, huh? All right, now I'll take just a few minutes and do a little business of putting pots and pans around and, you know, hoping maybe that you may hear where they are, and other times you may not. You can't hold still. All righty. Now, we have a lot of these things to put around here because we want to make sure that some of them are right, you know, right near you. We get them all around where you can have one sort of, you know, we ought to get one, I guess, you know, so it's not too far away from starting. Okay, take a look at the clock now. 40 seconds, are you ready? Go! Open your blindfold. Show you where that last one was. Look at it. Sitting right there all the time. Well, again, we have I'll tell you what. Let's have a little souvenir picture of this. Sit right down here by the pots anyway. Roxanne, come out with one of your Sylvania Super Flash bulbs, will you? With a blue dot for sure shot. Take a picture of Mr. and Mrs. Aladelis so they can have a little record of this. That's the idea. And, of course, we have for you. Come over. Now, let's see. That was your very first clock, wasn't it? Well, that was too bad. It's twice tonight we've had our clock beat somebody. Will you pick up that little radio down there, please, Mr. Aladelis? That is your Sylvania radio for you folks, and I'm sorry. I hope another time luck is better with you. Good night. Good luck.
Tommy Schuster and Mr. and Mrs. Schuster from Fairfield, Connecticut.
Well, thank you very much. Hi, Mr. and Miss Schuster. Hello, Tommy. How are you?
Okay.
Boy, dig that shirt, will you? Isn't that something? My son likes shirts like that, too. How are you, Mrs. Schuster? And Mr. Schuster, welcome to our show. Pleasure to know you, sir. What do you do for a living?
I'm a salesman for the Cybering Rubber Company.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Well, now, we're not going to keep you waiting here at all. I think if you'll just sort of hang your things right over here, that'd be all right. Put your purse up there or hang it over this little hook, whichever you want. And Mom and Pop come over here with me, and Tommy, you can just sort of stand by there and help. Now, Mrs. Schuster, will you stand on that little cushion there? Mr. Schuster, come over here and stand on this one, if you will. Thank you, Betty. I have here a pair of gloves, and these gloves are fastened together by elastic bands, you see? There's a reason for that, and I'll show you what it is. See just exactly how well you can stretch toward each other, and put on, each of you, one of these gloves. Now, they're both right-handed gloves, so you can work with your right hands. Now, suppose you take a hold of that like that, with your thumb, and hang on to it tight now, because that's the way I'm going to give the one to your husband, too. You take onto that like that with your thumb. Now, when I say go, you may not step off those cushions, you may not use your other hands, you may not press it against your body, but keeping that hand out free at all times, you get that glove on, you get that glove on, we'll stop the clock, you'll beat the clock. How many seconds you have? 55 seconds. Are you ready? Go. Come on, boy. All right, she's got hers on. How about you, boy? You got it on? Beating the $100 clock, and Tommy's glad for you. You're going to try now for the $200 clock. How about that, fella? Feel pretty good now, huh?
Yeah.
You proud of your mom and dad?
Yep.
Do you ever put the gloves on like that at home?
No.
No, I'll bet they don't. There's a reason. All right, Mrs. Schuster, we've dressed you up there a little bit, and there's a reason for it. Hey, the bonus! You get the prize for the bonus! Out here alongside of me. Okay, girls, bring out the bonus, if you will. Bonus is is worth $200 in cash, and this is strictly a bonus, you understand? Our last one was beaten a couple of weeks ago, a week before last. As a matter of fact, it was the one with the little holder on the dish thing. Now, here I have a little saucepan, you see, with a handle on it and a piece of string tied onto the end of it. Now, what you have to do is precisely this. You have to catch this little tennis ball in the saucepan so that it is resting in the saucepan like that. If you get it in the saucepan and it rolls out again, that's no good. That doesn't count. It's got to get in there and stay there with the saucepan like that. You understand? The only difference in the way I did it and the way you're going to do it is you are going to hold it by this piece of string. By this... Take that by the end. You can't wrap the string up on your hand. You've got to hold it by the loop. Any way you want to up there, but that's the only way you can handle it. And get it in there within the allotted number of seconds, which are how many? 45. Are you ready, boy? You can't touch it with your feet or your hands or against your body. You ready? Go. 20 seconds left. You sure came close to that one. I thought you were going to knock that one off. Well, that was a bonus. As I said before, that was a good try. You didn't lose anything by it. You still move on up now to the $200 clock. And Tommy, that's your name, Tommy?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, you watch.
Dutch and Baba?
Can you say hello to who?
Dutch and Baba, my grandmother's.
No, you can't, because there's a ruling against it.
Oh.
But you come back sometime when the ruling's lifted, you can say hello to Dutch and Baba, okay? All right. Speed Demons is the next little problem on the $200 clock. And you're going to see something I bet you wish you were doing. Maybe you can call out advice to Mom and Pop. Come on over here, Mr. and Miss Schuster, and I'll show you what the problem is. Step right over here, if you will. Now, here are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 little racing cars. Oh, I got all kinds of keys here, haven't I, huh? Thank you very much, Betty. There's a key for you. There's a key for you. I'll keep a key in my pocket in case you need a spare. Now, I'm going to wind one of these up right off the bat just to show you what we have to do here. You wind it up through that little hole in the back, on the left-hand side of the back. Hold your fingers against the wheels and just wind her up, just the way you would anyway at all. Now, when I say go, what you're going to do is this. I'm going to hand you this one so you can start this one off, you see? Get it wound up here. There we are. Now, you take that one, hold those wheels with your hand. That's the idea. Now, when I say go, you put that car down on the stage here, just let it start to run. Leave it alone. You immediately, both of you, go and pick up a couple of more cars and wind them. As soon as you get them going, put them down. Wind up 2 more. Put them down. As soon as you have every one of these 8 cars on this stage moving around under their own power without your pushing or kicking or touching them, every one of them must be going at once. We'll stop the clock and you'll beat the clock, okay?
You don't have to wind 2 at once.
No. One at a time. Wind it, put it down, let it start to run. Pick up another one, wind it, put it down, let it start to run. I'm just giving you this to give you a little head start. You get the idea? Take a look at the clock. See how many seconds you have. 50 seconds to get them all going. Are you ready? Pick one up, boy. Get it in your hand. Get it all set. Go! Get each other's way. Hurry up. Get out of the way of it. That's it. And you come down. You have to wind it up again. And I'll tell you what we do, Tommy. You were standing over here with your tongue just hanging out, so here's one for you to take home with you. How's that, boy? Okay, you're welcome. Jackpot clock. Mr. Schuster, take Tommy down there. You can't help her in any way. Just think good thoughts about her. Mr. Schuster, back of this curtain is our jackpot board with all the words of a famous saying or quotation all mixed up on it. You got to get them unmixed so they spell out the one we're after in 20 seconds, okay? Open the curtain. Step up on the platform. Go! Oh, golly, our time is running out. Go on, do it if you can. Hurry up. Hurry up. Hurry up, time's running out. You've only got about 6 seconds. That's it! A loaf of bread and chocolate. Time, you get one of those beautiful 21-inch screen Sylvania television receivers will be sent to you. Congratulations and good luck to you. And ladies and gentlemen, this is Bud Collyer speaking for Sylvania, hoping that next time may be your time to beat the clock. Good night, everybody.
This has been a Mark Woodson Bill Hutton production in association with the CBS Television Network. Roxanne John, a Hannah Troy original. Tune in every week at the same time for Beat the Clock.